Hi guys. Today I want to talk about AI and speed, specifically how fast LLMs work. Now, this isn't a thing that most of us think about because AI is already blowing our minds in terms of how amazing content it can generate so quickly. But when it comes to LLMs, speed is something that starts to matter when you're dealing with a lot of data and you're dealing with especially a lot of files or processes that happen in parallel. And I want to talk about one specific company called Cerebras. Now, Cerebras is a company that has decided that they're going to be the fastest AI infrastructure. And what they're doing is actually kind of mind blowing to me. They have taken various open source models and then engineered the hardware so that it's just 10, 20 times faster than any other service provider or any other AI model that exists out there, right? So you can see over here, this is a site that I love going to on a daily, weekly basis, which is Artificial Analysis. And what they do is they test all the latest models that are coming out and give us a clear understanding of the intelligence, speed, and price on different metrics. But one of the main graphs that I check in on a regular basis is the intelligence versus speed and price. So if you see this particular graph over here, the speed that GPT-OSS is coming in is literally just miles above any other provider for this particular model. And now why am I looking at GPT-OSS and why not like ChatGPT or etc. or the GPT-5 that you might have seen? Well, that's because this is a open source model that ChatGPT or OpenAI has launched and allowed others to use on their own infrastructure. So you could run this on your own laptop or your hardware, etc. And if you can see from a performance perspective, it beats Claude Sonnet, it beats DeepSeek, it beats even Gemini 2.5 Flash in their testing. Again, their testing is a mix of English communication, coding, knowledge, a whole bunch of things, right? But on the whole, this is already very impressive as a LLM model that you can download right now and use it as you wish. But when it comes to speed, I think unparalleled. Cerebras has really done a fantastic job in making it as fast as possible, and it's not even a competition in terms of how far they are. It just skews up every other graph, right? If you're trying to compare speed over time, I don't know what happened over here, but pretty much everything else is just so far ahead that I don't even know what's happening with the rest of this game. But just to give you a visual representation of how this is, I've just put together ChatGPT 5 Instant, which is supposed to be the fastest ChatGPT has. You have Gemini Flash, which is already really fast. And I got Cerebras over here, which is running on the GPT 120 model over here. So I'm just going to paste in this particular query. How does an LLM work? Give me a 100-word answer. And I'm going to start with here and paste. And in fact, let me just paste everything so that I've just got it ready. So I'm going to do 3, 2, 1. Boom, boom, boom. You can see here this is doing something. And this is done. This is already done. Cerebras is done. Gemini Flash is still going strong. But alright, it's going there. And ChatGPT is, instant is a relative term, I guess. And here, I'm not measuring the quality of this in this very test, but you can see here, I'm just seeing what it's done. Over 1600 tokens per second. Again, if that means much to you, but it's meant to just say that, yeah, within a fraction of a second, it actually managed to give you 1,000 words. So you can imagine 1,000 words per second with a fairly good explanation of how LLMs work. It's pretty much as good as it would have been out of OpenAI's own server, but OpenAI somehow does not give that to you directly. Again, these are different answers. This is not necessarily a fair test from a very defined prompt, but for the common person, seeing this level of performance, I think is pretty unheard of, and what Cerebras is doing is quite amazing. Where this sort of model is very useful is if you need LLMs to go through a lot of information, thousands of documents as quickly as possible, maybe even do that first cut analysis. These are already fantastic, and Cerebras This isn't a sponsored post or anything, but I'm just a huge fan. They've got the latest Quen models, which are on par with your Claude Sonnet models, etc. And for anything simple and basic, you got your Llama models, which are really small models and very fast, very, very fast. And they're, again, if you're using AI in your company, etc., don't just look at LLMs as one block. It's like saying, I want to buy a car, right? Which car do you want? What use case do you have? Do you want short distance and long distance? Do you do weekend trips? Do you off road trips? So, all of those parameters that you decide when you want to buy a car, you need to think that and more when it comes to LLMs and AI models that you can use. So, anyway, I hope this was a good illustration of how different AI models work and exist and speed, etc. And this is another very useful site. If you want to learn more, then drop me a comment. But anyway, that's all I wanted to share today. So have a great day, guys.